A Day of a Terrorist. Descent into Shadows. In the cloak of the night, the fighter's soul wrestled with the weight of his haunting regrets. The echoes of his past misdeeds reverberated through his being, tearing at the very fabric of his being. Fueled by a desperate yearning for redemption, he hatched a plan to break free from the clutches of the camp that had become a symbol of his guilt. Every fiber of his being was consumed by the urgency of his escape. With meticulous precision, he prepared himself, ensuring that no detail was overlooked. He moved with the agility of a predator, employing all the skills he had acquired during his time as a militant. He crawled low to the ground, silent as a wisp of smoke, his body blending seamlessly with the shadows. Each step was measured, each breath calculated, as he wove his way through the labyrinth of danger. Yet, fate proved to be a merciless foe. As he cautiously inched forward, his heart thudding in his chest. A blinding spotlight suddenly pierced the darkness, casting its accusing beam upon him from the watchtower above. Panic surged through his veins like molten lava, his regrets swelling within him like a torrential storm. In that fleeting moment, he understood that his chances of escape were rapidly dwindling, captured by the watchful eyes of the camp guardians. With a surge of adrenaline, he threw himself into a desperate sprint, desperately striving to outrun the relentless pursuit. Alarms shrieked through the night, their wails echoing the chaos within his own mind. But no matter how valiantly he struggled, it seemed as though the camp's grasp tightened around him, its tendrils closing in with every frantic step. Exhausted and defeated, the fighter's flight came to an abrupt halt. He was captured, his body falling into the clutches of his captors, who handled him with ruthless efficiency. Bound and restrained, he was forcibly dragged back into the heart of the camp, the chains of his past transgressions now matched by physical restraints that spoke volumes of his guilt. The walls of the interrogation room closed in around him, its bleakness mirroring the turmoil in his own soul. Harsh lights bore down upon him, stripping away any semblance of sanctuary. The air was thick with tension as the interrogators unleashed their relentless barrage of questions, each inquiry a merciless strike aimed at unraveling the depths of his involvement. The fighter's body, already battered by his attempts at escape, now withered further under the weight of the interrogatory. His mind became a battlefield, where the memories of his past transgressions clashed with the desperate hope for forgiveness. Pain etched across his face as he recounted the path that had led him astray, the twisted ideology that had clouded his judgment, and the lives he had irreversibly shattered. In the midst of the grueling interrogation, a haunting realization pierced through his anguish. He knew that his treachery against his jihadist companions would brand him a traitor, sealing his fate with a sentence of death. Under the glare of harsh lights, the fighter endured a relentless onslaught of questions, each one a dagger that reopened wounds long buried within his tormented psyche. Memories of the lives he had destroyed, the pain he had inflicted, haunted him like relentless ghosts. The room seemed to shrink, suffocating him, as he was forced to confront the horrors he had willingly participated in. In that dimly lit chamber, his regrets transformed into a cacophony of voices, echoing through the corridors of his mind. The faces of his victims materialized, their eyes filled with pain and anguish, their voices a haunting chorus that pierced his conscience. The weight of his guilt bore down upon him, threatening to crush his fragile spirit, as he descended deeper into the abyss of his own personal hell. Amidst the torment, a single thought pierced through the darkness of his despair, a vision of his mother's tear-streaked face, etched with agony and sorrow. Her anguished cries resonated within him, intertwining with the echoes of his victims. In that moment, he understood the far-reaching consequences of his actions, the irreparable damage he had wrought upon countless lives. His mind painted vivid pictures of his mother's tear-streaked face, etched with the pain of a mother witnessing the demise of her child. The weight of her sorrow settled like a stone in his heart, intertwining with the burden of his own remorse. In that moment, he understood the depths of his betrayal, not to his comrades but to the one person who had always believed in him. As he faced the looming specter of his own mortality, the fighter's emotions clashed again within him like a tempestuous storm. Regret mingled with sorrow, and the knowledge of his impending demise pushed him to the precipice of despair. Yet, within the depths of his soul, a flicker of determination persisted, a flicker that whispered of a chance, however slim, for redemption and the opportunity to make amends. In the face of his inevitable fate, the fighter resolved to face the consequences of his actions with a semblance of dignity. Though his spirit was battered and his heart heavy with remorse, he clung to the hope that his sacrifice might spare others from the path of violence and destruction. And as his mind flew back to his mother, he silently vowed to leave a legacy of love and redemption, hoping that one day, his name would be whispered not with disdain, but with the bittersweet recognition of a lost soul seeking forgiveness. Even the darkest nights end in the light of dawn.